All right, thank you so very much, everyone, for staying with us here on Global Morning. Again, we cycle back to the incident from yesterday, the train derailment, the Abuja Kaduna train, and the developments that have ensued afterwards. All right, so we've seen responses, we've seen reactions to that incident, but across board, people say one thing that brings a bit of consolation in this instant incident is the fact that no deaths were recorded, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that at the end of this investigation, which we understand the NSIB and the NRC have commenced or just started, we should be able to understand exactly what led to this accident and what can be done to avert it in the future. To have this conversation, I'm joined this morning by Professor Ibrahim Abubakar, is Global Television's security and political analyst. Prof, it's always a pleasure to have you on Global Morning.
Good morning.
Let's begin with this. You are familiar with this corridor a lot, and you have also followed developments within our rail system in this country. When you heard that news yesterday, for example, what was the first thing that struck a chord in your mind?
I was not surprised.
Okay.
Because there was a past incident when some group of people were kidnapped on that track. And I know what went on, both in the security perspective, the people, and the nation entirely. I personally felt that some measures has to be taken from that period of time, but all suggestions made were like a drain on the basket. So the incident of yesterday was not different from that incident, because the situation we find ourselves is a situation where people who are not security knowledgeable manage our security sectors, and that has bring us to a perspective where we still live in the past and in the old. The security training we are giving today are still remain on that part of the old, the part of the past. Whereas by this age and stage and modernization everywhere in the world, we are supposed to have trained security sector members and administrators and managers on specialized areas. So in security, we have in the template of citizen and human security, including environmental security, what we call transportation security. This is supposed to be a specialized area that will have taken care of this sector or this incident that just has taken place. It has no difference from what has been happening, because we don't have specialized areas. So till we get it done that it is not just take of arms, acquiring arms and the rest that will salvage us or save us from the situation we are today, then it is going to be the same pathway every day. But we are giving credit to people who don't even know the difference from this specialized area to this specialized area. People who have never been administrators and managers, people who are not in any specialized group, coming to take over the management and administration of our security sectors. So if you look at the security sectors today and those who are managing them, then you find out that we are still far, far, far backward. We are actually over 50 years backward.
Okay, that again is a concern. I mean, you and I have also followed how that under former President Muhammadu Buhari, now deceased, we saw how former Minister for Transportation, Rotimi Chibuike Amechi, all right, was enthusiastic about securing some loans from the Chinese government, and how that those loans, for the most part, were going to be plowed into upgrading and strengthening our railway system in this country. Do those efforts count for anything afterwards?
I really view that argument as a vague argument of somebody who wants to exploit and become an opportunist. During good luck, one Dr. Joseph Ogundu, Sokoli and Wasokli and myself presented a pathway to the president, Goodluck Jonathan, and Onano Menon was the Minister of Works. And the Wasokli from South Korea was ready to invest $3 trillion in Nigeria, on the rail, on speed rails, on roads, super highways that would have been leaving Abuja to Lagos, super highway that would take you from Abuja to Lagos for 5-6 hours, to Calabar, to Port Harcourt, to Sokoto, to Maiduguri, and
other parts of the country.
On that part of the country, and network it where also we will have a speed rail that will leave Abuja to Lagos for 2-3 hours. Port Harcourt, Calabar, Maiduguri, and the rest, speed lane, so that will bring down the aviation industry, because by the time you leave the main city to get to the airport, get a ticket, take a flight to Lagos, somebody who is living maybe behind by Church Gate here, going to Lagos, will have arrived in Lagos. And it is cheaper, it is faster, and that will have discongest Abuja, because you will leave Kaduna and get to Abuja in 45 minutes, less than 45 minutes. So somebody will leave Mina for 30 minutes and is in Abuja. So if you have a job here, you can come here and leave Abuja, leave Mina to Abuja, leave Lokoja to Abuja, leave Jos to Abuja, leave Kaduna to Abuja, and that will have discongest Abuja drastically. These proposals were not acceptable for a reason that I am not going to put on the public now. It was because of personal interest.
Okay.
Today, our roads are in deplorable states. The rail will not work because there is no adequate technology, there's no adequate provision, security provisions made for the rail. Now, the roads are not passable. So we fall back to air. And air is very expensive for the common man. We are talking of another increase again on air traveling. So what has the common man stand to benefit in movement? We are talking of food security. We are not talking of the farmer security. So the movement of products from wherever place of production to the place of consumption has become limited by transportation.
Right.
So we are stagnant in one place because we are looking from one direction. Food security, if you go to study food security by security dimension, not by what we say that this is Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. When you go to study food security by security dimension, a larger portion of it is the farmer security. But here we are, because there is no specialized area, we don't even know anything about farmer security. It is so new to a lot of people when I say it. So also it comes to transportation security. Can you move today and said in the next 6 hours by road I will be hitting Benin? It's not possible. Can you move today and said in the next 4 hours I will be hitting Bauchi? It's not possible. Will you leave today and said in the next 7-8 hours I will be hitting Yola? It's not possible. Really possible. There is no possible route.
The reason I asked you that question, Prof, is that, I mean, when you take loans, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You have to pay back your loans. Now, Nigeria is paying back those loans. But are we getting commensurate value in light of the reason?
That is why I said it's an opportunity for exploitation.
So who did the exploitation?
An opportunism. We don't need roads for we don't need loans for the development of our transportation sector.
So what are the alternatives to loans?
So when you don't need loans, you don't look for loans. They should do the right thing. They know what to do. I tell you, somebody from South Korea came in here during Jonathan.
The one he said was going to invest $3 trillion?
Yes, and the investment was not loan. It was not tied to any.
But were the terms friendly enough? What was the reason the Nigerian government at that time did not accept that proposition?
The government, we shouldn't say government, we should say individuals who exploit opportunities. How can you say, I want to invest 3 trillion in your country? We are only building toll gates. We also have what we have, meaning motels and the rest along the super highways.
Right.
We have workshops, we have airpoints and the rest. That is what we have, filling stations and fuel stations and the rest. And we have toll gates with minimal charges. That is how we are going to recoup our investment.
More like a PPP model?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is the way we are recouping our investment. We are not giving Nigerian loan. And somebody comes to tell you that, yes, you are going to invest 3 trillion. Agreed. But $3 trillion. Agree. This is a noble deal, but we need 20% of 3 trillion.
Upfront?
To them. So, as an investor that is not giving a loan, how will you feel?
But was that the case in this instant situation?
Very well. That was the case.
Okay, do you think, for example, because it appears, I've spoken with people, stakeholders from both the rail sector and aviation, there seems to be a bit of, if you like, friction between both subsectors because they are all in the transportation business together. Do you think, given what you know, for example, Prof, that there may be vested interests compromising, sabotaging efforts in the rail system? I mean, from the aviation sector, sabotaging efforts in the rail system.
If you look at what has happened yesterday, one of the people to investigate the accidents are from the aviation sector.
The NSIB people?
Yes. What is their business with rail?
Safety.
What safety?
I guess that is across board?
No.
Beyond the aviation sector?
Yes. They don't have any business with what has happened yesterday.
So they should stick with aviation?
Yes. They know that they don't have any parameter, they don't have any technology, they don't have any reason to be part of investigating of the real incident of yesterday. They know. So when it is not your specialized area, why are you involving yourself?
Well, they are collaborating. It's more like interagency cooperation. I mean, between them and the NRC.
There is no collaboration you are going to make or input you are going to make when an area is not your specialized area. The way you're flying, you are not looking for the black box.
Right.
You are not looking you are not investigating an air issue or an air disaster or an accident in the airport. You are investigating a rail issue. And what did you know about rail?
So you're saying they should rest squarely with the NRC?
Very good. But even the NRC, do they have the technology? Do they have the know-how? Because we have to go to a sector that have the know-how. Long ago, after the incident of the kidnapping on the rail track, there was a lot of proposals from the Air Force, from the Office of the National Security Advisor, from other stakeholders. And I drum it out that there is a need to deploy technology. There is a need. Somebody said cameras. And I laugh at the person. Why are you going to deploy CCTVs along the rail track from here to where?
You think that's counterproductive, right?
Very, very counterproductive. It's not going to yield any fruit because you can demobilize CCTV. I can walk into any place and decide to demobilize CCTV even before I walk in. CCTV is already obsolete when we want to talk about technology. Vision technology. CCTV is purely obsolete.
So what is the recent innovation in that regard?
Cloud cameras. Because you are not seeing them.
Right.
They are seeing you. You are not seeing them. So they give you detailed reflection, dimensions and everything every minute of the day. Not drones. Because drones are visions. You are seeing drones.
But there are also stealth drones that can fly past and you don't even have an idea anything has moved past you.
No, you still see drones. You are seeing it is something, whether it is silent or whatever. And you cannot deploy drones from here to Kaduna because it is going the way the train goes.
Okay, the
so
same pace.
Yes, so where is the loose end? The drones don't capture it.
The black spots.
Yeah, where there is a loose end.
Okay, you can't capture that.
The drone will not capture it because it's moving the same time. So at what point is it going to stop the train to say don't move, there is a loose end there?
So again, that is a faulty initiative.
Yes. So the only technology we can deploy on the rail is cloud cameras, which is giving you minute to minute details of what is happening. And that will have to go with a feed terminal system. Because from the feed terminal, you are washing everything that is happening to the main terminal. So all these suggestions were made. These are things that are not costing us the billions or trillions of naira that we are projecting for security.
Prof, I know you have a lot to say along this line, but let's talk about something else that has been much of a popular conversation around the security of our rail system in Nigeria: vandalism. I mean, one would have thought that's an issue we're already dealing with all the vehemence, all the resources we have. Can we also blame this on vandalism? Because that has been a concern.
When you don't have deployed adequate security on the rail line, anybody, you make it vulnerable. So why are you blaming the common vandal? Have you been able to secure the rail line? And the vendors came in. We are quick to develop structures and infrastructures without thinking of managing them or securing them. The vendors are not watching the human life. So if you say your main duty as a security manager or administrator is to save life and properties, that is properties. What have you brought to the table to say this is how we are going to save this property, the safety of this property, the safety of these people? So when we cannot do that, we blame it. Nigeria itself is a nation where nobody wants to take responsibility. Nobody. We blame what we are supposed to take as our inadequacies. We blame it on another. Even if Tinubu finish his tenure today and end his tenure today, the person taking over from Tinubu will blame all the other lapses why he cannot move forward on Tinubu. The
same way Tinubu is blaming past administration and saying that he made the economy in a bad shape.
Yes.
So it's a tradition, it's a cycle.
It's a cycle because from Obasanjo saying the military he took over from was the cost of some inflation in government. That is how the power that took over from Obasanjo said it is an inherited problem from the administration of Obasanjo. When Buhari came, it is also an inherited problem from and misgivings from the Jonathan regime. When now that Buhari has left, Tinubu came in, and this is Buhari regime that has made him not to function. So we continue to blame our inadequacies on the past. So everybody, to me, in Nigeria lives in the past and in the old days. So where we are thinking of how to renew and re-energize, reactivate what we are supposed to do, we are only sitting down in one place, aloof, thinking aloof on things that has happened in the past. Instead of bringing and re-energizing the system, know what we are going to do and build a pathway to follow, we sit down in one place and blame it on the past. So meaning you never had any idea of your own when you were coming into the system. This has nothing to do with the head of the nation or the president of the nation, but it also have to do with every fabric of the nation. Whether you are a minister, you are a commissioner in the state, you are the governor, there is no distinctive directions that we are following.
There are people, Prof, even in Nigeria here, who have said that, look, sometimes we overflow these issues. Sometimes we just put unnecessary pressure on ourselves over some of these developments. For example, they say that in other countries, even in some of these ones we call civilized countries, you also have derailment of trains. So it's not something that is exclusive to Nigeria or even Africa. What do you say to such arguments?
Yes, it is not a particular issue to us, but it really don't mean that we should not put measures in place for it not to take place. When you are building structures and infrastructures. In these modern days, I'm not talking of the past, we are talking of the modern days. They employ what we call system security engineers. This is a building, for example. This is a structure. So when you finish your designs, these days they look for a way to secure this. So the system security engineer will bring up a system that will do what? That will also come with the design to secure the structure, to secure the premises. So we have primary security, we have secondary security. The primary security and the secondary security. So the primary security is the one you have used to secure this place. Assuming there is a fire outbreak now, we start looking for the secondary security, which is the Federal Fire Service. But if the primary security is here, which is called like the automatic fire fighting system,
Right.
it will have done the best of it and contain the fire to a very large extent.
Yeah.
So if you go to some countries, they will never approve your design unless there is this system security designs for the structure. So we have not gotten there yet. So you can't build a rail system because there was a derailment in India and there is a derailment in Venezuela, in Argentina, in Nigeria. They still classify us as third world countries. Even India, even Venezuela, even Argentina, all are still classified as third world countries. So I want a situation where we look at our protective mechanisms. Our protective mechanisms first. That it happens in another country, will you allow it to happen in your country? The answer is no. Because we have to put the strings together and see that under transportation security, this is what we have done.
Talking about, well, again, maybe this is a proactive security measure. We are now understanding that the Nigerian Railway Corporation has suspended travel by rail indefinitely, of course, pending advice to the contrary. Isn't that a right step in the right direction in this regard?
For some time now, I heard that the train movement from Itakpe to Alaja, that is Warri, has long been suspended. And now we have entered Kaduna, Abuja. But I will also tell you that there are supposed to be free movement. And I made it clear here. If the road transportation is almost impassable or closed, and we are now saying rail, no more rail, then we are only going to work on air transportation. Air transportation now is very high for the common man.
Right.
So if it is very high for the common man, what did you have now means that you are deprived of movement from one point to the other.
So you are saying you would have expected them to continue, allow the service or the Abuja Kaduna service to continue running?
Yeah, put the measures in place.
And continue your service.
Fix it. All these things we are saying now don't take us 1 week or 2 weeks to do. Put the security measures in place. Put tidying on everything. I know I know my Nigerian brothers. We are not the only oil producing nation in the world.
Right.
But we are the most, we are the nation that has not secured our oil sector. We have the most spill every year, year in, year out. We talk of oil theft almost every day because we don't even know what we produce. You understand me? At the end of technology, and we pay some people to secure our oil pipelines and our oil infrastructures.
That's right.
Running into billions. So sometimes I think that can't we put a lasting lasting solutions for this? So assuming we are spending over 100 billion on securing our on the security, paying individuals to secure our oil pipelines, so or our oil infrastructures. If we have used that 100 or 100 billion to find a lasting solution to our problem, are we going to spend similar amount next year? So the country we are is a country of personal interest, where I want to give a contract to somebody and the person also have to pay me for the contract that I have given. So the more the contract rose, the more money or the more benefit I get from it.
Right.
So rather than find a lasting solution, so my own opinion is, why not we find a lasting solution? Why must we be cutting the branches every day?
So you are saying that we are avoiding getting to the roots of the problem?
Yes. We shouldn't be cutting branches every day. We are cutting branches every day. And it has become a norm. It has become a recognized practice. So when you come up with an idea that we can do this without taking loans, we can avoid all the loans. There are people out there who are ready to invest in Nigeria, even if it's going to take them 25, 30 years, 50 years to recoup their money.
Their investment, right.
Their investment. They are ready to invest. We are not supposed to award contracts to anybody and pay the person when we have investors there crying to do this almost free of charge.
All right, Prof.
So if you are going to, I'm coming, assuming you have a vehicle and you are going to Kaduna and there are about 2 or 3 toll gates, there's no police, there's nobody. So are you dropping 200 naira in these toll gates? That's 600 naira.
Right.
Then you have already avoided some insecurity measures because there is no police on the way. There is no road safety on the way. There is nobody on the way because the vehicles are well profiled for such movement.
Right.
And there is the movement card that you are carrying from year to, so your security is guaranteed. You are not afraid of any kidnapper. I am very sure everybody in Nigeria will celebrate it. The roads are good. They are the best of roads. Everybody in Nigeria will celebrate it. Because if you enter that road, one military man is there, one policeman is there, one road safety man is there. The roads are not good enough. They are not passable. What are you doing? You end up spending money that you are supposed to. So nobody, no transporter passed through that road without dropping money for some individuals that are not going to a collective revenue purse. So, assuming somebody has spent $1 trillion to construct that road, and it's just taking 600 naira or 400 naira or whatever from all passerbys, and these dichotomies are not in mixed with it, and he can get his funds back, recoup his funds back in the next 30 years, and the road is beautiful, passable, secured, and everything, don't you think Nigerians will be relaxed?
Of course, common sense will say yes, they'll be relaxed. But
yes. But in our own case, we don't want to do that. They want to tell us that the government initiative is that there should not be a toll gate. But did the government initiative also say that I am not going to be kidnapped along the road?
Very instructive question, Prof. But again, we also need to quickly catch our breath on the program. Professor Ibrahim Abubakar will talk to us a little more about a few other aspects of this conversation, especially as it also has to do with safety of other kinds, again, still within the transportation sector in Nigeria. All of that and more after this break. Please do stay with us. Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
The president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Well, thank you so very much for staying with us. Prof, investigation has started apparently. I mean, the authorities say that they are looking into what the cause of these or causes may have been, and then use that piece of information to make some very critical decisions, all aimed at averting these kind of incidents in the future. I mean, what does your sense tell you Nigerians should be expecting from such investigation, basically?
Well, I am not here to say whether the investigation will come out successful, but I also believe that most of the investigations we have carried out in the past has not yet any fruitful results. So we set up committees who will set up another committee and set up subcommittees and the rest to go into investigation. If you look at it, let me forget about the real thing that just happened, but look at look at the investigating report of Bellevue Airline. Let's look at the one of EAS. Let's look at the one of Dana. Let's look at. So when you look at all these Sosoliso and the rest. So if we look at all these investigation reports, what measures has actually been taken and what has been corrected even in the aviation industry.
So for you, it's not so much about the investigation as it is about what is done after the investigation.
Yes. So when you look at it, when we come to the rail, there was an incident between Agbo and the Isha land.
Right.
Well, what has come out of it? We have an activity where kidnappers took transporters on the rail hostage along the same Abuja Kaduna route. What has come out of that investigation? So it's not about we carried out an investigation, we set up a committee, we set up a task force. That is not about it. About it is what happened thereafter. Aftermath of the investigation. That is.
But is it also possible that these people, I mean, these agencies of government saddled with this responsibility can carry out this investigation, do due diligence, I mean, take all the care in the world to do their job, and then use this information internally to help better their internal operations? Do they necessarily need to make it public? Because sometimes it appears that's the concern Nigerians have. They are wondering, why are we not aware? Why are we not informed of the outcome of the investigation? Should that really be the concern? Should it not be more of how they apply the knowledge or the information gathered to better their operations going forward?
When you say Nigerians are not supposed to be aware, it was not a covert operation.
No, I didn't say Nigerians should not be aware. I'm only saying that why do we make that more of a priority as against what the authorities now do with the information they have?
No, why people take it as a priority is because, one, there is, after an investigation,
right,
where they are supposed to put measures in place which will mitigate against a repeat.
That's right.
So when there is a repeat, what did you want somebody to think about?
So it looks like she never did anything with the previous one.
No, it's just like you are somewhere. You trusted a friend or a relation or a brother or a sister and said, please, I have that piece of land which you know, I want to develop it. And what will it cost to develop this? And the person said, oh, it's going to cost this, that, this and that. And you send in the money. And you find out that no development took place. And you are now asking the person, what have you done with this? Then tomorrow you are still going back to trust that person again. How will anybody who has heard the story feel?
So I need to ask you this. How do we then strengthen our regulatory culture, if you like, in such a way that there can be public confidence in the regulatory agencies themselves? For example, you and I are here seated, and you are saying that from your own assessment, the NSIB, that's the Nigerian Safety and Investigation Safety Investigation Bureau, should face their aviation mandates and should have no business coming into an issue that obviously has to do with the railway system, where you have the NRC, the Nigeria Railway Corporation, for example. How do we better the operations of these agencies so that regulation can be a bit more effective than it is right now?
Let me bring it down for understanding of understanding. Under transportation security, we have aviation security,
right?
We have road security, and we have rail, and we have waterway security and the rest. So it is not just an issue of where are they coming in. They are under aviation security, which is a sub to transportation security. So if they are under aviation security, we also have on the road, we have the Federal Road Safety Commission. So in the rail, we have the Nigerian Railway Corporation, and in the marine water transportation, we also have MPA, we have NEMASA, we have Nigeria Inland Waterways.
Right.
So our regulation system is for us to first of all identify which sector, which policy formation, which regulation, which laws govern these sectors.
But we have those laws by way of acts. Every agency has an act.
It is an act of establishment. That is where we are getting it wrong. An act that establishes a particular sector does not drive that sector.
So what drives it?
What drives the sector is the policies that are formed after the establishment. You can decide today to say you are having this is a broadcasting sector.
Right.
So if you have a broadcasting sector, it is under the Media Act that you came in. It's Broadcasting Act that established it. You understand me? But after that, people don't understand that in security we have what we call the press and security. So the press and security now becomes a policy framework to rejuvenate the nation, awaken them from media loopholes, awaken them from media bullies, awaken them from foreign body intrusions, lifting them from the clouds of intimidations. These are things that are policies, not the act. So under transportation security, where we are, is not the act that established these bodies, but the policies that driven them. So if there is no policy that drive them, then the act is of no use. It's just like any other, even at our home. You get married, and you say, oh, I'm getting married, I'm only going to have 1 or 2 kids. Now, that is just your own perspective. You go into the marriage, then 4 or 5 children, even you are thinking of a second wife. So is that your driving force? No. It's the policy that you make day in, day out that drive the setup, not the act that established it.
There are people who say that our train system in Nigeria is obsolete. They say time has, this train system we use has long been overtaken by events, and as such, there is an urgent need for an upgrade. Can we also attribute some of these accidents to the fact that we don't have modern day technology to drive our train system?
That is not whether we are using a single gauge carriage or double.
Yes.
That is not the issue at stake. Yes, we can agree they are obsolete, but then whether it's still single or double or whatever.
The argument is even based on whether it's single or double. It's talking about whether or not we cannot upgrade to what obtains today, for example, like you have in Asia, like you have in even other parts of Africa.
Yes, we have not upgraded, but that is not the issue we are talking of. We're talking of the issue of security now.
Is security not easier with more restraints?
Are you going to say that they will not tamper with the rail structures and infrastructures because it is modernized?
Does it not make it a little harder?
No. You are using the same system. Is there any rail that is built without tracks in the whole world? There is none. So as far as there are tracks, and these tracks are there, it is the same thing that is happening now that will happen. We are talking of how to secure this sector. What you have is your priority.
Right.
So what you don't have, you don't have. And you cannot upgrade from nothing to something. And sometimes that is why even in our communication industry, we have not gotten it right, because we only interface from analog to
digital.
We have not interfaced to digital. It's not digital yet.
So where are we?
We only interface it to sub-digital. It's not digitalized.
So we're not fully digital yet with telecom system.
They know it. That is the truth. But I'm not going into that. We are facing transportation here.
That's right.
So the security of our structures and infrastructures is what matter to us today. If you upgrade and you are still facing the same difficulties, it's still the same thing. Because why will a train derail? It is because you have removed the track systems. Somebody has stolen them away. Somebody has picked them and sell them as peanuts somewhere. That is the issue. There was a period here when all the manhole in Abuja along the road were being removed. But when Tuji Disu, who was the CP, FCT command,
right,
came in and worked with the network, security network information system, and also with Sharo, who is the DC operations. When they take it as we must stop this, it stopped.
So what we need is the wheel.
Is the we have to do something that says, okay, this is what I have done. So are you telling me Olatuji Disu and Sharo was given an order from the IG? No. They know that the FCT is their area of jurisdiction and they have to secure FCT. There is no blaming song. You go to some offices where they will tell you, security organization who will telling you they are waiting for the DG, they are waiting for the IG to give them instruction on what to do. We are waiting for Mr. President. So why are you in that office? So if Mr. President is not there and 1,000 people or 2,000 people have to die, they have to die. You don't care because there is no order from above.
All right, Prof.
So that is where we are every day, and it is not assisting us. So today, security has developed from that human intelligence to engineering and technology.
And you're saying Nigeria has to embrace that?
That is where to go. Because I can sit down in the comfort of my room and see what is happening on all the roads in Nigeria. Will you want to cause any harm to anybody when you know that I can come and knock at your door in the middle of the night and show you your activities of the day?
That sounds radically innovative, quite frankly. Hopefully we get this on time. We'd like to say a big thank you to you, Professor Ibrahim Abubakar, for coming as always to share these thoughts with us here on the program.